Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick from the New England NewEnglandWeatherLife.ning.com with the very late on Saturday technical discussion. And I had another technical discussion airing for most of the day today on Saturday, and I decided to update it with the new model data that we've been seeing coming in. Now, current radar over Boston showing that we've been seeing the snow squalls forming over us. It's a convective nature, and for that, we've been seeing, usually with these convective natures events, we usually see the snow falling at 1 to 2 inches per hour, and then it just melts. So we haven't seen any significant accumulations. And let's wait for this to load. There we go. I can switch you over to the radar in Portland, Maine. It's a lot more exciting. We got the light to moderate snow that's filling in around the Carrabassett Valley, and I can take you north, and then you do notice how it dissipates to a relatively light band around Houlton, Maine. So of course we're watching two storms coming up, one on Monday, and then one perhaps on Wednesday, and of course, let's start you off in the short range with some data for the one on Monday, and I'm going to show you the 12Z and the 0Z WRF for this. And so let's do the sea level pressure. This is the 0Z, I believe, and let's take it out over New England, and here's a storm coming east of New England. It backs into New England. Look at that nice precip forming. There's no doubt that would certainly be significant. And then I can show you the 12Z WRF. Right here, sea level pressure and accumulated precip. And basically the same scenario, but it's a tighter storm and a little less precip on the 12Z. So another thing that we're going to certainly have to be watching is the wind speeds of this, and I certainly think they could gust in some spots, and I'm going to say this up to hurricane force. And I'm going to show you the GFS. I wish I had this loaded up earlier for you, but unfortunately I didn't. Lucky for me, I have a new graphic system which loads up super quick. I'm going to show you the 850 millibar wind, and this is good. This is usually good for seeing how strong we will see wind gusts, and I can take you out to the time period we're looking at, which is Sunday night into Monday. And look at that, your purple area showing up over around Fredericton, Canada, moves into Maine. That's 75 knot winds coming down for Eastport down to Bar Harbor. So there's no doubt in the forecast that we certainly should be gusting to over 60. These are the 850 millibar sustained winds, which is usually a good contour for how strong they will gust at the surface. And again, looking great for strong wind gusts. So this would also mean perhaps some coastal flooding, and you see eastern Mass getting into the 40 and 50 mile an hour gusts. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about for Monday. And in terms of snowfall accumulation, I can show you the WRF also, and I can show you the total accumulated precip, and I'm going to show you the 12Z. And total accumulated precip, you go to the animation, and it's loading up here. Oh, there we go. And so you go out through time. Here's your storm that comes through, moves north, backs into New England. Looking good, folks. And this is basically about 0.5 to 1.25 in the heavy spots, so that'd be about 5 to 10 plus inches across most of eastern and central Maine. And then you got 0.25 coming across eastern Mass. It's about 3 to 6 inches. And then you've also got a widespread 3 to 6 across most of northern and central New England. Of course, this is the how much liquid falls from the sky, and for the deal on snow ratios, of course, you have to look at temperatures, and there are a few other factors that we need to get to for snow ratios, but we don't have time to get to them all today. Let's take a look at the temperatures forecasted by the GFS. Let's go out to the time we were looking for at. Let's go maximum temps for Monday. And good agreement of that you could go to 36 degrees all the way to about Boston, but you should see it cold enough to snow once you get north of about Quincy. So those amounts should verify north of Quincy. South of Quincy, it's going to be a mix for most of the South Shore. Probably rain out on Cape Cod. Now, of course, we turn our attention to another potentially significant storm by the time we get to Wednesday. And I had a bunch of model runs loaded up for you, and I still have those. So let's see. I'm gonna just get a rundown on the models here. This is the 12Z GFS total accumulated precip, and this is the storm, of course, comes up out of the southeast mid-Atlantic and southeast United States. Eclipse over New England, and you say eclipse over New England, that doesn't necessarily mean the snow is light. The storms so far this year have had a very sharp gradient. This is no exception in southern New England's into the gradient, especially eastern Mass. You've got a 0.5 for eastern Mass, New Hampshire, eastern Connecticut. So that would be equivalent to about 6 inches of snow. Then 0.75 further south, that's about 8-10 inches of snow, depending on the ratio. And you look at the ratio, and you can see that based on the GFS temperature probabilities again. Look at the ratio temps for Wednesday, and they're certainly cold enough to support snow, except on Cape Cod again. So I can show you, where did I have the GFS? Where's the GFS? Here's the GFS. And so basically that's what we're going to be talking about with that. So that's the GFS 12Z. The 18Z was different, and I have a bunch of different model products which I want to show you for this event, because there's certainly not a good agreement that's showing up. I can also show you the Canadian, and this is the 0Z run. I showed you this in this morning's video, and I'm going to show it to you again. Here it is coming up. Southeast mid-Atlantic, moves north, hits New England, heavy precip, 4 to 8 plus inches probably, exits through the day on Thursday. However, the 12Z Canadian, totally different scenario. Here we go. Here's a storm developing. Looks kind of the same, but look how much that misses New England. Now you get your precip cranking out just like the 0Z, but it misses New England. Then it jumps north, almost hitting New England, but it's still too far off south to start out with, and you end up with light snow across a lot of southern New England. Not near 4 to 8, probably more like 1 to 2. And so I can also show you the, what else did I have loaded up for you? Oh, and of course I want to show you the NAM. The NAM hasn't totally come into range yet, and I'm getting the feeling that there's a model product that I'm not remembering that I wanted to show you, but I'm just going to show you the NAM first to start off with, and again, coming through southeast mid-Atlantic. And then look at this, a hook of energy coming through the Ohio Valley. I'm going to get to what's going on with that in a second. And this would probably be indicative of the storm. Again, much like in the Canadian, it jumps north, still missing New England just a little bit. So, I mean, the statistical probabilities favor the storm hitting New England. Early estimates 3 to 6 on Wednesday. Could be much more precipitation based on a model like the 12Z GFS. The 18Z GFS had a lot less. And then the other product I wanted to show you, I knew I was missing out something. This was what I was missing out. This is a DJEX model. I've talked about the DJEX a lot in previous storms. This storm is no exception. So you go out to Wednesday and you see the precip is heavy for the southeast. Look at the energy hanging around the Ohio Valley. Misses New England to the south. So I've showed you a bunch of model products which had New England missing to the New England getting missed. However, there's this other one I wanted to show you, which was the this is also the GFS, but this is the 500 millibar heights from the GFS. Here we go. And I'm going to load up 84 hours out. Here's a storm entering off the southeast coast, and this is both 84 hours on the NAM and GFS. Here it is entering off the southeast coast. Here's energy in the Ohio Valley. I want you to key in on this. I can take you to the GFS plot. Look at all that energy that's hanging around the Ohio Valley. That's indicative that you've got a significant driving force in the Ohio Valley that could just jump the storm northward. The 12Z Canadian picked up on that, like I showed you earlier. Let's zoom you into New England. 12Z Canadian. 12Z Canadian picking up on that. There you go. And look at that. Look at this frame, and then look how it jumps north. So that's certainly something we're going to be watching. If the storm trends further north and then jumps, then we could be talking about significant snowfall accumulations across a lot of southern New England. Perhaps like the 12Z GFS, and we're certainly going to have to be watching all the models for this one. Alright, that's it for now. See you guys later. It's Nick for the New England Weatherlife.ning.com.